Today on Eagle Nation News, Madeline Moody reports on civil rights leader and American politician John Lewis.
Reese Ranzer takes a closer look into the world of competitive cheer. How many hours do the average cheerleaders put in?
And finally, Casey Boston is in studio with an interesting tech update. What does the world of technology offer us now?
All this and more today on Eagle Nation News.
Live from Prosper, Texas, this is Eagle Nation News.
Good afternoon, Prosper High School. Today is Wednesday, February 7th. I'm Caitlin Wessels.
I'm Nico Ray.
And I'm Nick Anderson.
We start today's show off with news of the SpaceX rocket launch. Nico?
Thank you, Caitlin. Yesterday, SpaceX launched their very first Falcon Heavy rocket, issuing a new age of space exploration. Due to its cheap $90 million launch costs and self-landing reusable rocket cores, SpaceX plans on revolutionizing space travel and aims to put humans on Mars by 2024. CEO Elon Musk also included his Tesla Roadster in the rocket's launch, driven by a mannequin astronaut.
2 days before a possible temporary government shutdown, the House of Representatives passed legislation funding federal agencies throughout March 23rd and funding the Pentagon for a full fiscal year. While the bill is passed in Congress, it's now up to Senate, where Democrats are likely to oppose it just because it no longer provides long-term money for public programs like transportation and education.
Now we send it over to Madeline Moody, who highlights civil rights leader John Lewis in honor of Black History Month.
In our eyes when we joined together to sing it, but we still decided to sing it. We shall overcome.
John Lewis is a representative of Georgia's 5th Congressional District in the United States government and was a civil rights activist. Lewis attended the American Baptist Theological Seminary in 1957, where he learned about nonviolent protest and helped organize multiple sit-ins, which led to his arrest on 3 different occasions. In 1961, Lewis joined the Freedom Riders and traveled across the South to challenge segregated facilities. Lewis was named the chairman of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee in 1963 and went on to help organize the March on Washington later that year. Following the events of 1963, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 was passed, but suffrage for African Americans in the South continued to be a struggle. John Lewis led a march from Selma to Montgomery, but after crossing the Edmund Pettus Bridge, the protesters were attacked. Lewis suffered a fractured skull, and this day would later become known as Bloody Sunday. Although John Lewis left the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee in 1966, his impact on the United States continues today. While serving in the House of Representatives, Lewis has overseen the renewal of the Voting Rights Act, along with improving education standards, calling for healthcare reform, and searching for ways to fight poverty. In 2016, John Lewis helped organize a sit-in to respond and bring awareness to gun violence after the mass shooting in Orlando, Florida. Because of his work, Lewis has received the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the NAACP's Spingarn Medal, the Sole John F. Kennedy Profile and Courage Award for Lifetime Achievement, and other awards that all represent the mark he has and continues to leave on the United States government.
In our eyes when we joined together to sing it, but we still decided to sing it. We shall overcome.
Thank you, Madeline. After this commercial break, Reese Ranzer reports on the hard work that goes into competitive cheerleading.
Partners PE is the name of the class, and it's a specially designed physical education class that is specifically for our students with disabilities. By bringing in our students without disabilities, we are now allowing our student with a disability to have a one-on-one teacher or partner to go through the activities. So this class is going to give us the chance to work with our students with disabilities to give them the skills that they need to be able to participate in lifetime sports and activities, creating friendships and connections with other students.
Reese Ranzer highlights the commitments and sacrifices of 2 Prosper High School students, Annie Haley and Navia Villar, who are competitive cheerleaders.
Cheerleading is more than football games and sidelines. 2 students here at Prosper High School put in hours of commitment into their competitive sport.
Cheer at Spirit of Texas, and I'm on Royal Guns. This will be my 12th season doing cheer. It's like 4 to 3 days a week, 3 to 4 hours of practice.
I cheer at Cheer Athletics. I'm on level 5. I'm on Panthers, which is one of the most competitive divisions in competitive cheerleading. I cheer 9 hours a week and 3 or 4 days a week.
Annie Haley and Navy Villar both have high goals to achieve before their season is complete.
This cheer season, I want to hopefully win NCAA. It'll be my first time. So NCAA is basically a big competition where everyone in the country comes to Dallas and everyone competes against each other, and then day 2 you just find out if you win or not.
My goal for this cheer season is to win nationals and the World Championships at ESPN Center in Disney World.
Even though they both spend many hours working towards their cheerleading goals, they still have to balance it with schoolwork.
I'll stay up after practice when I get home at 11, and I'll do my homework till like 1 and then go to bed.
I have cheer after school almost every day, so the way I manage to do my homework is during Eagle time and taking advantage of that time every second I can.
I have Annie in psychology class. I got her this semester, and she's told me about cheer, and we've encouraged her to try out for school cheer. She does a good job of balancing. I know she spends a lot of hours a week in cheer practice, but she's able to get her work done, and she has a good attitude and comes to class prepared, so she's able to balance that cheer and school life.
Cheerleaders like Haley and Villar show that cheerleading takes so much more than an outsider would think. It takes balance, sacrifice, and commitment to become successful. This has been Reese Franzer reporting for Eagle Nation News, Prosper.
Thank you, Reese. After this commercial break, Casey Boston is in studio to discuss the new Mario Kart game that can be played on an iPhone.
Student Council is selling underclassmen shirts to wear at the Spring Sports Pep Rally on February 20th. Please enter courses for the 2018-2019 school year in Skyward by February 7th. Applications for practicum courses are on the PHS website. The Health Science Qualification Questionnaire must be completed by February 7th with recommendations. Permission forms to enroll in dual credit courses next year are due to the counseling office by March 9th.
Personally, I can never keep up with the constantly evolving technology in our modern world. Here to keep us updated with the latest and greatest of high-tech devices is Casey Boston.
Thanks, Nick. 2 years ago, the app Super Mario Run was released for iOS and Android devices, ending up being a pretty big hit. Nintendo has upped their game, bringing another Mario-themed game to iPhones and Androids called Mario Kart Tour. Not a lot of details have been provided yet on the game, but we do know that it won't be out until this April or till March of 2019. Mario Kart has been very successful for the Nintendo 2DS, 3DS, Wii, and Nintendo Switch, so the mobile version is predicted to be pretty successful as well. Now be sure to follow our Twitter at Eagle Nation News for news, polls, and updates, and check out our website, eaglenation.net, to watch previous episodes. That's all I have for you today. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Casey. Now we send it over to Ryan Ranzer in the Eagle Zone with your sports update.
Boys basketball beat Lake Dallas, putting up a 53-41 win. Let's hope for the same results against Little Elm. This Friday, and also our very own Lady Eagles have finished with a perfect district record for the first time in over a decade, beating Lake Dallas 65-39. Boys and girls soccer was also postponed after weather delays last night and will be rescheduled at home for today. We'll have those results tomorrow. That's all I have for you guys. Back to you, Nico.
Now let's take a look at the meeting schedule for the rest of the week. After School Eagle Time meets after school every Wednesday and Thursday in room 2234, and the Catholic Student Association meets Thursday at 4 p.m. in room 1225. That's going to do it for our show today. For Eagle Nation News, I'm Nico Ray.
I'm Nick Anderson.
And I'm Caitlin Wessels. Live long and prosper.